not gonna fight you. You're my friend. Finish it. Because I'm with you to the end of the line.
What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Chris Evans returning to the MCU as Captain America. There are new reports about this thing. There are old reports about him returning. And so I want to talk about the new stuff, and I want to speculate on where I hope Chris Evans returns to the MCU. So if you're a big old fan of Chris Evans as Captain America, buckle up, because I think you're going to quite enjoy this video. And if you do, remember to smash a like on it. Now, many of you nerdvengers that are super serious about keeping up to date on all of this stuff will recall that the Hollywood trades came forward to say that Chris Evans was back signed with Marvel Studios and that he will be returning for at least one project, maybe several projects for the MCU. And in that report, it did say that this was actually not going to be for Captain America 4. And honestly, the MCU could use Chris Evans back as Captain America. And this is, just because I think a lot of the newer characters are just not resonating as much as Captain America did. Chris Evans just embodied that role. He was perfect in the role. It was absolutely incredible. And we know that he's still seemingly alive, right? He's old man Cap at the end of Endgame. There were rumors that that old man version of Cap was even going to pop up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And beyond even that, we see a young version of Captain America leave with Mjolnir and a suitcase full of Infinity Stones. And immediately after I saw that in Endgame, I was like, yo, that dude, that exact version is going to pop back up on Secret Wars. And the latest reports indicate that that's exactly where Chris Evans is going to pop up. Now, this does come from Giant Freaking Robot, whom normally I don't talk about because they don't have the best reputation, but they have actually been getting some stuff right more recently, and some people have told me that they have better people working over there. Regardless, take this with a grain of salt, but it would actually make a lot of sense for Chris Evans as Captain America to pop back up on Secret Wars. And as a fun addition to that, I actually had some people reach out to me and say that not only is Chris Evans coming back for Secret Wars, but he is being offered an absolutely absurd Robert Downey Jr. level of money to come back in Secret Wars. And I think that would actually make a lot of sense because Chris Evans, again, such a fun character as Captain America, and Secret Wars sort of promises to be this scenario, this movie that will bring old versions of our beloved Avengers characters back into the fold, have them interact with new versions of characters that are now in the MCU, but we are also going to see these characters interact with other people from the Fox franchises, maybe even the Sony franchises. Remember that it's heavily rumored that Marvel very much wants Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man back for Secret Wars, and I'd love to see those two Spider-Man and Tom Holland Spider-Man interacting with Captain America. That would be absolutely incredible, but it would also be absolutely sick to see Captain America hanging out with Hugh Jackman Wolverine on Battle World. So that's the new rumor, but how does that tie into the old Deadline report from a couple of years back that suggests that there's one project with the door open for another for Chris Evans? Well, I next want to talk about this project called Nomad. Okay, now this was something that was rumored a long time ago, this Nomad project, which would see Captain America come back, but not actually be Captain America. In the comic books, this was when Steve Rogers abandoned the moniker of Captain America and just kind of went out there as this character Nomad, and he was just like some kind of unknown hero. And to be honest with you, that's not actually that compelling. But remember that Marvel Studios likes to take things from the comic books and adapt them in a new and interesting way for the MCU. And I started to think about the Captain America that we saw leave trying to go back in time and put all of the Infinity Stones back at the end of Endgame. And there are also versions of Captain America that actually did go through Secret Wars and stayed on Battle World. Like, there's a version out there in the multiverse where they never leave Battle World, and Captain America himself ends up marrying Rogue and having a baby with Rogue, and then their daughter, who becomes this character called Crusader has like the power of Captain America and Rogue. She can fly. She has Mjolnir, and she uses the Captain America shield, and she's absolutely freaking awesome. And there was this line that Kang the Conqueror says in the trailer for Ant-Man Quantumania, which was not officially released, but there's leaked footage that came out, and in that movie, Ant-Man refers to himself as an Avenger, and this surprises Kang, and Kang says, "Oh, you're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?" And there's a lot of discussions about how Quantumania and some of the things that will happen going into Phase 5 are going to recontextualize how things happen in the MCU moving towards Secret Wars. But remember, a lot of this has to do with the fact that He Who Remains already fought a multiversal war and won, came out on top, and then isolated the sacred timeline and made it what it was going to be. But we've already seen what could be Battle World in that void world at the end of time, where Alioth is, interacting and hanging out there, and there's perhaps even visual clues as to how the multiversal war, the Secret War, has already happened and will happen again. And this sort of had me thinking, like, how wild would it be if Chris Evans came back as Captain America, being a nomad character, but he gets stranded on Battle World with the Infinity Stones and Mjolnir after Endgame. This would be so brilliant to me, because you don't want to have Chris Evans overshadowing Sam Wilson as Captain America. And if you're going to set him up in Secret Wars, wouldn't it be fascinating if you told a story about this Chris Evans Captain America that's just existing, trying to survive on Battle World, and at the time, or by the time that our regular heroes in the 616 timeline meet back up with him for the Secret Wars movie, maybe he's already been on Battle World for some time, already understands the layout, knows where the dangers are at, and things like that. I think that would be absolutely fascinating. But before we get out of here, I want to throw another awesome idea at you of where they could use Chris Evans as Captain America and make it, again, not necessarily overshadow Sam Wilson or some of the new things going on in the MCU. And that would be if we saw Captain America in the past perhaps hanging out with even Wolverine. This actually does happen in Marvel Comics. Wolverine and Captain America fight side by side at some time and point during World War II. We see a lot of this stuff happening in the first Avenger movie, but perhaps there's something we didn't see, or even via the time travel, again, this young version of Captain America would then go back and be hanging out in that timeline, perhaps fighting with Logan. I think that would be absolutely incredible. And there were rumors that you were going to see something like that, maybe even involving the Russo brothers. And this stuff was kind of circulating out there again when that trade report came out that suggested that Evans was back to the MCU. I really do believe that bringing Chris Evans back is going to be a big boon for a lot of Marvel fans that frankly still feel as though Phase 4 in the MCU past Endgame has just not had the same oomph. It doesn't have the same flavor, and so bringing him back would be absolutely incredible. I really do believe this new report from Giant Freaking Robot that he will be in Secret Wars, but I also think there's a way to do a project that will tie into that, either that Nomad project or a Wolverine project or something else. Like, there's the ability to tell some multiversal stuff with that Captain America character that leaves the normal 616 alone and then has a perfect meeting back up point in the Secret War film. I think that would be fan-freaking-tastic. And regardless of all of that, there's so much hype stuff happening behind the scenes at Marvel right now. D23 is right around the corner. We're going to be covering all the stuff that comes out for that. Maybe even a Chris Evans Captain America reveal at D23. I would absolutely love it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like this video if you had a good time watching it, and subscribe to this channel because we're going to be covering all the latest rumors and the news as it comes out for Marvel, for Star Wars, for DC if they ever get their crap together.